Hello John and the Genius Games teams. This is the Microcosmos prototype that I already sent to you. I'm going to be the most efficient storyteller for describing the game per turn. And as you can see, I'm going to start now. You have the central game board composed by a central hexagonal tile and 12-3x tile that represents an ecosystem. As you can see here, as a description, this is an ecosystem that represents a marine one, and at the center of it you're going to see an organelle reward. There is a token. In the upper hand here is a reward that is a point of a bonus. Here at the right is a bonus card. And finally, in the lower hand, I have here an energy bonus. So each one of these 3x ecosystem has a different rewards. So, well, first, the objective of the game is that you have a symbiont that represents a cell, and you have to populate all the symbiont with the nucleus of the cell and the most amount of organelles before the end of the game, or you can close the game once you have the most of the organelles. That is the goals of the game. I continue with the description. Here is the ecosystem. You can travel to catch all the organelles tokens in order to activate them and be part of your symbiont. These are the components that represent the nutrients: green ones, black ones, and red ones that represent enzymes, nucleic acids, and biomass. Here, this represents the very essence of the ecosystem. So besides the reward that you have by exploring it, this is the ecosystem that you explore. For example, this is a marine one that represents the bottom of the sea. And here is the nutrients that you are going to harvest. This is a personal reward that you are going to receive. And this one is the energy bonus that you receive once you harvest the ecosystem. If somebody else wants to jump to this hexagon or this tile, they can harvest it by these nutrients, but they are no longer going to receive these rewards, only when you are the first one. And this represents energy tokens. I use the coins because I ran out of other cubes. These are the organelle tokens. Once you harvest an ecosystem, you receive one, but they are here inactivated. You have to exchange these tags that are in the bio cards to activate them. But I'm going to touch that topic further in the video. Continue with the description. This is the primordial pool, the primordial soap. All the nutrients that you harvest are going to be here. You have to put it here first so that everybody has the chance to feed upon them. This represents the oxygen. At the very early part of the life in the earth, oxygen was some kind of poison. So each time the oxygen jumps to these levels 3, 6, and 9, your symbiont gets hit by an entropy. And entropy is very important because it represents the order within the cell. I'm going to jump this further in the description, but if your entropy is too high, you are no longer to play more cards and your symbiont gets hindered in the game. So basically you have to play and manage to reduce the oxygen levels, or to manage when the oxygen hits these places, these slots, and suffer the consequences because of it. Here, this is what I call the Evo table. but it is not something else that you receive some kind of benefits for the next turn. So if you want, for example, to hit on genetics, you have to pay energy coins or energy units to have the benefits for the next turn. One more card on your hand, reduce the oxygen or reduce your entropy in 2 steps, and receive 1 energy step. Your energy gauge comes from the basics 1 step higher. So you receive an income of energy +1. For example, you are in 4, you jump to 5. Here, for example, you have to harvest, or you can harvest another ecosystem. I mean, you only can put 1 ecosystem, explore 1 ecosystem, and harvest it 1 per turn. But with this benefit, you can explore another one, and that means that you can double your rewards. Obviously, it cannot be, or it doesn't have to be adjacent. You can explore here and jump and explore here, for example. Let's keep going. And this is 2 nutrients. You decide which one you might want. But the point here is that because of this effort, your symbiont gets stressed and you decrease your energy income in 1 step. And in production, you receive the first player marker, so you have the beginning of the turn, and you receive nutrients, more nutrients. In case that you don't have chance to bid for any one of these, you can jump to the energy one. Only the first one going to receive a reward, jumping 1 step in energy income, and once per turn you have more energy. And besides that, the reward, that benefit, you receive 3 more energy units. Anybody else, if don't want to compete for any one of these benefits, or if any one of these is locked, you can jump in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th place, but you're only going to receive 3 energy units because of it. That's mainly the description. I'm going to jump to the bio cards. The bio cards are effects based on biochemistry, biology, and a description of what many of these things do. For example, ATP, you receive 3 energy units, but you don't have to pay nothing. So if you want to play the card or have that card in your hand, you can do it, it's free. But you have to pay this energy to play the card, and then pay that energy again if you want to make an exchange of the organelle tags. This tag, for example, is a wild card. This one is membrane, virus, centrosome, chloroplast, and the mitochondria. This is in Spanish. Is the last version that I sent to you. Is the newest one in English. And basically, the description of the card are: green one is one-time effect, as well as red one. But sometimes red one can behavior as a blue one. The blue one is a passive one. You can use it once per turn while it remains active. And describing here the symbiont math structure. Here is your energy reserve, biomass reserve, and nucleic acid reserve, and the enzymes reserve. Here is your growth gauge that represent how bigger is your cell. So each time you grow, you have some benefits. If you hit these blue slots, you have a passive benefit each turn to receive passively one of these nutrients. Here is your entropy gauge. The entropy gauge is the ability of your cell to survive the environment and the management of your order or internal order. So there are many metabolic effects that you have the benefit, but you get hit in your entropy. You rise your entropy. So each time your entropy rises, you have less opportunities to keep playing the cards, because some cards, the effect that they have is that they cost 1 point of entropy. So in this case, if I want to play this one and this one and this one, I have to pay 3 entropy. So that will be to move from here 1, 2, 3 cards. So I am at the middle of the gauge of the entropy. So in order to decrease it, to keep playing this kind of cards, is to pay 3 energies to move 1 step to the left. Sorry. And this is because represent that the stress of the cell suffers within the evolution of these metabolic effects or morphologic effects. So it's the level of adaptation of your cell to the environment. And this is the energy gauge. For example, you start with energy in number 4. So you have to pay enzymes to get more energy. In case that you have some effects that decrease your energy, for example, if I want to jump from energy income 2 to energy income 3, I have to pay 1 enzyme to jump until I arrive to my homeostasis. That will be the income of energy without having any kind of entropy issues. In case that I might want to jump to energy level 5, income 6, or income 7, I have to pay 2 enzymes, and 3 enzymes to jump to this place. So at the beginning of the game, you start in energy 4, your income, and your entropy in 0, so to speak. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots. That means that you will play, or you could play 6 of this card cost, or to measure some kind of changes. Now, this one is the lower slots, where you locate your blue cards. You only play 3 or you have 3 slots, sorry. You can play as many as you want, but only the first one going to remain in effect. So for example, if I want to change this photosynthesis card with a glycolysis, only the glycolysis is going to be... Sorry, I don't know why the video stopped, but I'm going to continue. Here, for example, if you want to play this glycolysis here, you can play it and put in this slot, but only this slot is active with this tag. So each time that you play, you don't have to open a 4th slot, you only have 3, and the first one going to remain. And now I'm going to jump to the setup. I'm going to cut here and jump to the setup. Okay, and now I'm going to start with the setup. For this game, the setup starts with every player having 5 energy tokens, energy units, sorry, 1 biomass, 1 nucleic acid, and 1 enzyme unit, 3 markers. 1 marker is for the growth gauge, the red one is for the entropy, and the yellow one is for the energy income. Every player starts with 2 symbiont tokens. One of these symbiont tokens is put at the center of the hexagonal tile, at the very center of the board. And the other one here, just to mention the intention of where they want to start. For example, I want to start here. The oxygen level here, next to the icon. And each player going to receive 7 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for the main deck, the bio cards, and 3 ecosystem or eco X's. Finally, once we have all the components placed on the game, we can start. First things first, the player with the dirtiest hands is going to be one who's going to start. Let's pretend that I have the dirtiest hands, so I'm going to receive the first player marker. Sorry about that, but I'm going to use at this time this red token. So I'm the first player. So the beginning of the turn started with me, and then to the left. The second players or the action are going to clockwise, to the left. So the very first action is income. So the first things is to receive my income. I don't have anything here passive active, so I don't receive income from here. The only income that I receive is from my energy income GAUG, that is at 4. So I'm going to receive 4 energy units. Here I have. Now I have the chance to take one eco tile, review it with the other ones that I have, and decide which one is the one that I'm going to play. Because I want to have this passive for the next turn, I'm going to play this one because the reward is that I have the chance to grow 1 step. And I receive 4 energies, and I can harvest 2 nucleic acid for the primordial pool. So I decided I'm going to play this one. With that in mind, now I have to choose if I'm going to play that one, where I'm going to play it. Sorry, let's keep going. So I am here, and I decide that I want to harvest a mitochondria. So I will have to travel to the mitochondria ecosystem. I have here one where I can harvest that organelle, or I can travel to the other side of the map to have it. So I decide that I want to roll 2 steps then. So I have to pay energy to travel to that place. So I play 1, 2, 3. I pay then 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. And I take my 3x and I put it here with my Symbiont token. Here I have my token and the 3x, and I'm going to harvest this one. Once I do that, here I have the mitochondria token inactive. That's one of my rewards. The second one is that I have a blue cube here. So I grow 1 step, but again, another one, because I have here my reward, and here I have the reward of the ecosystem. Now I receive 4 energies. So I have a net income of 1. And then I take these 2 nucleic acid tokens and I put it here. That is the end of the first step of my game. Then it's called exploration and harvesting. Now let's go to the second player. Okay, here the second player, we start with the income. In this case, the income is again 4 here. And I decide as the second player, here is my token, so I am here. This one, I want to compete but at the same time, that's my intention. And I take a next EcoX. Ooh, this is a good one. But let's see what we have. Oh, this is a pretty one too. I took another one, so I have my 4 here. Now I have to choose. Okay, let's play this one just to show you another mechanic here. I choose to play this one. I'm going to receive 3 energy. I'm going to harvest this and have another card to play. So I want to play a cytoskeleton. So I have to travel to look for the cytoskeleton tokens, and here they are. So I travel 1, 2, so I pay 2 energy. And I locate my Symbiont here. So I'm going to roll as a reward and have the cytoskeleton. Now I have to look for the cytoskeleton. Let's pretend that we have one here. Come on. Okay, here I have a centrosome, but it's a cytoskeleton. in the version that I sent to you. So that's my reward, and to grow 1 step. Now I receive 3 energy. I have to pay 2 because I travel, and I receive a bonus card. Ooh. Now I have 8. You can see. And finally, these 3 different nutrients goes to the primordial pool. And that's the finish of my turn in this first phase, that is the exploration and harvesting. Now back as a first player, I have the right to play my cards and to pay the energy to play them in the order that I want. I can play as many as I want. For example, I'm going to play this one. It's free because I don't need to pay energy, but I receive 3 energy. So now I have a lot of energy. Then I decide to play a lysosome. In this case, I can obtain 4 extra nutrients and locate them in my reserve. So I pay 2 energy, and I have to pay 2 green ones and go up in my entropy. So what I can do is to exchange them, but I don't have the way to exchange it, so I cannot play that one because I don't have the card that gives me the chance to exchange them into a green one. So sorry, but I cannot play this one, but I can play a tubulin, and I have all the requirements. So I can play a biomass, a nucleic acid, and an entropy, and 2 energy. So here's the energy that I already paid. I take the biomass and the nucleic acid. I have 1 step up my entropy. I pay that, and I can grow another one. So I have 2. I already reached 2 passives. For the next turn, I'm going to receive 1 enzyme and 1 biomass because I have been working on growing my symbiont. Let's see what else I can play. No, and can play this one, the fermentation. Fermentation says that once per turn I can exchange 1 biomass unit for 2 energies, but I have to pay again 3 energies. Here I have 3 energy. Now I can pay 1 enzyme, and again I raise my entropy GOG in 1 level. And that will be the end of my turn playing my cards. Now, second player, he decides that he is going to play glucolysis. Oh, sorry, I didn't put here the income of the setup. Oh, sorry, I forgot something. They have to add as part of the end of the first step. Sorry, I forgot about it. Me, as a first player, I can take 2-1. So I take this 2-1. 1 here and 1 here. The second player takes these 2. Here and here. And finally, I, as a first player, I take the remain. Now let's keep going. The second player. The second player here has more nutrients to spend. So he decides to spend 1 enzyme and rise the entropy and pay 1 energy. And he has that benefit. The next one that he might like to play is the centrosome. The centrosome needs to pay 2 enzymes, but I only have 1. But I can exchange these 2 and 1 energy for the enzyme. Now I can complete what I have to pay for energies, and again level up the gauge of entropy, and I can rise my growth in 2 steps. 1, 2. As you can see, I don't have any more to do, and that will be the end of my playing of the bio cards. Now, simultaneously, each one of the players have to draw cards to have again 7. So in this case I have 5, I draw 2 more. In this case the second player has 5 also, so he draws 2 more. This is what he paid for the cards. And that is the end of the second one, that is the purchase of your metabolic. Hi again. Now, once we finish playing these cards, just in case that you already have enough bio cards with the specific organelle tags and the organelle token inactive, you can activate it by exchanging the cards with the tokens and paying the energy equivalent to the cost of these cards. For example, here I want this mitochondria token active and a score to win the game. So I have to spend here 6 energy for these 4 tags, and I can take this. Now the second part, just in case that in this step you already played the cards, but you as well had the chance to exchange the organelle tokens to activate the token that you are looking for. For example, I want to exchange and activate my mitochondria. So I have to count how many tags I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 1. Another one more. But in this case I don't have another one, so I'm going to take this wild card with the symbol of Microcosmos to complete the 5 tokens, and now I can exchange to activate this, paying the energy. So I have to pay 6 energy to exchange this. So I have here, I pay my 6, and I take all these bio cards and put them at the bottom of the main deck. And that will be the end of my playing of these cards. And I can score now 1 active organelle token. Now, and the last phase, or the third last phase, is when players want to bid to obtain the benefits for the next round. So the benefits at this time is looking, for example, 1 more card, 2 less entropy, 1 more energy, and so on. So in this case, for example, I want to bid for exploration, and the second player wants to bid for generation. In case that the third player would like to bid again with me, and he has this intention, I have the first player market, so I bid for 5 energies, and he outbids me with 6 energy. So now I can change my intention here. The second player bids for 7, but I don't want to spend so much energy on outplaying him with an 8. So in this case, I can go for production or for energy income. So I'm going for energy. That means that I'm going to rise my energy in 1 step, and I'm going to receive 3 energy. It's immediate because I don't have to bid for it. I don't have to pay nothing. So this effect is immediate. I don't have to step to wait for the next turn. In this case, he has to pay 6 energies, and he is now out. Nobody takes the first player, but the second player is going to pay 7 for these benefits, and because he is going to receive the marker at the next turn, this doesn't make much sense. So that's the way how the bidding in the Evo table works. And that will be the end of the third phase. So now what I will have to do is to pass my first player token to the second player, and he's ready to start the next one. So making a summary of the step is income. After income is receiving an eco tile, making the exploration and the harvesting.